At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
All right, thank you to Lisa Stevens. Give me a heads up that my sound stopped. Looks like we are back up and running. So, again, let's start over here. Good morning, everyone. You're watching Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 7 a.m. And as you know, the rain came in last night, and of course the snow in the higher elevations. I've been getting reports with snow levels as low as 2,400 feet. Now, it's forecasting as low as 3,000 feet, so, you know, those snow levels are just kind of a general idea when we forecast that. So you kind of get that idea. And as I mentioned, the heaviest rainfall falling last night and early this morning. And what you'll notice here is that things are kind of starting to taper off a little bit, but look at off the coast. There is more rain off the coast. That rain is going to be pushing eastward and eventually everyone else getting in some of that rain. So again, the heaviest has pretty much passed, but now we've got more scattered showers, I guess, if you will, throughout the day today. Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. Thank you so much for joining us on Coffee with Krueger. It is going to be a wet start to your day. We've got chain requirements out there. We're going to get into that here in just a second here. And let's see what some of you are kind of checking in with this morning. We've got Callie. Callie this morning is saying that Lake Macomber, 1.5 inches of snow there. And looks like out in Durham, of course, it's all in the form of rain. But Stephen indicating, thank you for the report there, at 0.82 inches of rain so far in Durham. So some pretty good rainfall coming out of this so far, and we've got a lot more rain in the forecast in the days to come as well. But overall, I'm expecting to continue to see this wet weather here for today and into tomorrow. And in fact, as we take a look at I posted how things are going this morning on those road conditions I was close to 4 o'clock this morning. I posted it on Facebook, and I was asking people to kind of give me an information as far as what it looks like where they are. Stephen, of course, thank you for chiming in. Oh, wait, that's from the live here. But I'm going to go to where I posted the road conditions. And a lot of people had reported what it looks like in their neighborhood. So, snowing in Castella with a couple of inches overnight. We got Greg saying about an inch in Dunsmuir. It was still lightly snowing at the time about an hour ago. Vicky saying, well, of course, thank you. Of course, here we got started snowing at her house in Hayfork. Very heavy and very wet. All right, so down to about 2,000 feet in Trinity County. All right, I was expecting maybe a mix, and that's essentially what it sounds like here, kind of the wet and heavy, most likely not accumulating at this point. Snowing in Coffee Creek. We've got Snow and Bella Vista Ranchettes Lookout, or BV Ranchettes Lookout. I'm not exactly sure where that is. You'll have to apologize. I don't quite know where that is. Tully Creek near Hayfork, snowing there. Snow in Bernie, it's about 3,000 feet. Light rain in Castle. Oops, now it turned to light snow. So I guess as she was writing the post, it turned over to light snow. There's also snowing in Whitmore as well. So yeah, a lot of great reports coming in this morning with the snow. And as I said, as low as 3,000 feet. But hey, listen, I'll be willing to admit that I was a little off there. But that happens. That's always going to happen. Always good to see, of course, the rain and snow. And of course, that's the reason why we're going to have chamber currents out there as well. Let's check back in with anybody, see what everybody else is going on here. Woke up to snow in Montgomery Creek. All right. So, yeah, I mean, listen, this shouldn't be a surprise. I've been talking about this snow and this rain here for quite some time. So Sierra's saying that she woke up to some of that snow in Montgomery Creek. We got Bill Carlton saying, good morning, everyone. Have a great day. Rainy in Red Bluff. Of course, we're not expecting any snow in the valley for Redding or Red Bluff. So it's going to be coming down in the form of rain there. Snowing in Shingletown at 3,200 feet. Good morning from Weaverville. Okay, so Jessica, 2 minutes ago, saying it's cold at 36 degrees. I'm assuming it's not snowing up there in Weaverville. Let me know. If you're in Weaverville and you're watching, let me know. Of course, we're getting reports of kind of a slushy snow out there in Hayfork. I'd be willing to guess it's probably about the same out in Weaverville as well. So I'd love to hear what some of you have to say. Was snowing, I've got a report from Jane saying was snowing in Douglas City. All right, so Douglas City looks like it's starting to wake up with some snow here. Snow is letting up in Bertie. So Gilbert, let me know, how much snow have you seen so far? Has it just been a couple of inches? Is it a major impact? We'd love to hear what's going on over there as well. We'll tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to get you right to Krueger's Quickcast here this morning. And before we really get started on all of that, we're going to take a look at the radar. Let's take a look at the loop here from the last 6 hours, and you can see some of the heavier rainfall we did see last night. But things are starting to taper off here this morning, but there still is some snow to the east of the valley, some snow towards Siskiyou County, and there's another batch of rain coming in from the west on the coast. So again, the bulk of that rain kind of pushed through. So here's what it looks like. Getting a report at 3,200 feet in Shingletown. Shingletown's kind of right there. So where you see Shingletown labeled, that's at 3,500 feet. So it looks like we're seeing a bit of a mix there. You have to go up a little bit higher in elevation before you do start seeing most of that snow. Mineral getting some of that snow out there as well. Let's take you up north, out towards Siskiyou County. Most of it's in northern Siskiyou County, out towards Highway 97. Looks like I-5 is getting a bit of a break from some of that snow that we've seen there. And let's see here. Let's take you out to Highway 299. Buckhorn Summit has been getting snow. In fact, they had to... I know there are delays because there are some spinouts. In fact, there have been spinouts across the region because of the snow on the mountain highways. And that's, as much as I hate to say it, when we start seeing that snow, it's expected. It's expected for us to see those delays because of spinouts. I believe it was also reported that was a FedEx truck that spun out on Buckhorn Summit area. But now it looks like it's mainly in the form of rain. Although, if you look right about here, I'll see if I can put if you can see my cursor on here. That's about where Buckhorn Summit is right there. So that's essentially what we're looking at right there. Take a look at some of the rainfall totals. Big, focused in there. There, look at that. Almost an inch in Redding, over an inch in Red Bluff. Chico, about a half of an inch. Willows, 0.57. And there you can see out towards Crescent City, an inch and a half. 0.8. Not much reported off to the east, though. So, yeah, I mean, we're already starting off with very impressive rainfall amounts. We've got a lot more on the way. So here's what I'm tracking through early next week before we get to the Quickcast. Moderate to heavy rain at times. There could be the potential for flooding now. I'm beginning to get concerned about Friday and Saturday's system. You know, I was talking about how this is not an atmospheric river that's coming through. And for most definitions of an atmospheric river, not 100%. However, it has characteristics. We're going to have a constant feed of moisture on Friday and Saturday. Could mean some steady rainfall and heavy rainfall as well. So flooding is going to be a concern. In fact, there's a flood watch for southern Humboldt County. There's going to be periods of heavy snow with possible I-5 delays. Snow between 3,000 and 4,500 feet. Should lower that to about 2,000 to 4,500 feet, right, quite honestly. Gusty winds for the coast and mountains, but now it's beginning to look like even the valley could get caught up in some of those winds as well. All right, so let's take a look at Krueger's Quickcast here. We'll go through this as quickly as you can if you're in a hurry. But getting out the door this morning, we actually may see a bit of a break from the wet weather in the valley by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock this morning, and even for the north coast. But otherwise, seeing those scattered showers and snow flurries across the higher elevations. There's a storm system moving through last night and this morning. Storm number 2 is off in the center of your screen. That's what's going to be here by tomorrow. And we're going to talk about the impacts of that storm system coming up a little bit later in your deeper dive forecast. Winter weather advisories and winter storm watches. We won't go into the timing of that and what that all means because it gets confusing. Bottom line, we know there's going to be a lot of snow. We also know there's going to be a lot of rain, and that's why there's a flood watch for Friday through Saturday. That's going to be that storm number 2 I was talking about. That's the one that's going to have the bigger impact in the form of that rain. So what we're seeing here is heavy rain may lead to flooding, mudslides. Oh, I meant to edit that. Shoot, it should say mudslides. It's one of those things I could try to fix it when I think about it, but then of course I get stuck with other things and I don't. So mudslides, you get the idea, and debris flows is what we're looking at here. Also, there's a coastal flood advisory until 11 o'clock today, not because of the rain, but because of the high astronomical tides in that area. There's going to be another coastal flood advisory for tomorrow morning at the same time. The strong winds is also helping to kind of create some of that as well. All right, so here's what we got with Futurecast for today into tomorrow morning. So there you can see the bulk of that rain pushing off to the east. So there's that break I was talking about, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then the next batch of rain comes in by around noon. Snow in the mountains. I think we can see more snow even on Buckhorn Summit. And then we take into this afternoon, still scattered showers, maybe more snow on some of those Buckhorn Summit, maybe on towards I-5 near Mount Shasta and Weed. Look at this. By tonight, we're actually starting to see a bit of a break. Still some scattered snow flurries out there, but nothing significant. And then going into tomorrow morning, the next round of rain moves in. There's look at the chain requirements. And I always have to point this out because it does look like there are chain requirements on I-5. There are not. That is on Highway 89 near I-5. But lots of chain requirements west and east of I-5. Nothing on I-5 just yet, but we are seeing snow on I-5. Dunsmuir, for example, Mount Shasta, Weed, all seeing snow in that area. Of course, got the chain requirements on Buckhorn Summit and Highway 299, Highway 36 west and east. And as expected, because we have higher mountain passes to the east of I-5, there are chain requirements there. All right, there's a look at what Fondale exit looks like. Of course, not closed off or locked off because of chain requirements, so that's good. Traffic is flowing. Looks like it's wet roads, but not snowy roads at Pitt River and Lakehead. But we can see, of course, the rain that we're seeing. There's Dunsmuir. Now, looks like some wet snow in Dunsmuir at the current hour at 2,400 feet. But there it is, more snow. Looks like the snow has stopped for the most part, but there still could be some snow up there in Mount Shasta. Looking at Snowman's Summit, Snowman's Hill, whatever you want to call it, 4,500 feet. Yeah, plenty of snow there. And, of course, there are chain requirements on Snowman's Summit. Let's take you out to I-5 towards Black Butte. Looks like the road is clear there. And we're going to take you out to Highway 97 right now. There's Grass Lake. Looks like it is getting some snow there. That's at about 5,000 feet, so that would certainly be expected. Highway 299 west. So this is not actually on Buckhorn Summit that you're seeing there, but it looks like they've cleared it off. Earlier this morning, that was covered in snow. Oregon Mountain looks like, well, mainly just in the form of some rain, not much in the way of snow. You can see a little bit of snow that's accumulated on the side of the road, but not much. And it looks like Berry Summit is all clear there, just wet roads. We take you out to Hatchet Mountain. Ooh, ice on the lens there. Highway 299 at 89. That's known as the Four Corners, 3,000 feet. There's the snow there. Of course, that supports the snow we're seeing in Bernie right now. Cedar Pass, looks like they've cleared that off here quite nicely. That was covered in snow a little bit earlier this morning. We take a look now at Highway 44, Shingletown, 3,500 feet. Looks like they're accumulating snow there. And looks like, you look at the rooftop there in that building. Looks like they've seen some decent snow up there. Out towards Lassen Park, that's the north entrance there on Highway 44. Almost 6,000 feet, plenty of snow there. That's to be expected. I'd really be curious what it looks like at Beauregard Ranger Station. By the way, there's a look at Chester. Chester, of course, seeing snow. There's, of course, Highway 3689 intersection. Snow is accumulating there. There's Fredonia Summit. Of course, looks like we're seeing some snow there. That's to be expected, accumulating on the road. Highway 36 and 44. That looks like a little bit of a mess there. Susanville looks okay there at 4,500 feet. And 4,200 feet southeast Susanville looks not even that much in the way of wet. So here's what the forecast road conditions are looking like today. Now again, the bulk of the heaviest rain and snow is past, but we still have scattered snow flurries throughout the day today that will keep bringing and giving us really ever-changing road conditions throughout the day today. That's why it's very important that you check the road conditions throughout the day today before heading out, because Mother Nature can and always will have a way of surprising us. Of course, that's through tomorrow morning. We switch gears. We talk about the high wind watch for Siskiyou County, central Siskiyou County for Shasta Valley. Could see gusts up to 50, 55 miles per hour. Looking at the winds here at noon today, gusty winds, even though the advisory is not, the high wind watch is not till tonight and tomorrow, still some gusty winds along the coast, gusty winds in central Siskiyou County and Shasta Valley, and in parts of the eastern mountains as well. Looks like this evening the wind's not as bad, a little breezy down to the southern portion of the valley. And then you can see by tomorrow morning, the wind's beginning to pick back up again along the coast and in Shasta Valley as well, in central Siskiyou County. So we'll take a closer look at those winds as we go through the day on Friday and Saturday. So here's your forecast for today. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s to about 50 in the valley, scattered showers. Off and on showers and snow flurries in the higher elevations with temperatures in the 30s there for the most part, and temperatures in the low to mid 50s along the coast. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for starting off with the valley, off and on rain. That's essentially what we've got here. Now, if we see a break, we're going to be looking at that on Sunday. And I'll tell you what, Friday, Saturday, things are amplifying. The level of concern is amplifying as well. Because we've got now what looks like more of a steady type of rain. Not only is the storm system slowing down, but it's going to have an ample source of moisture to tap into, and we're going to get that nice constant feed of moisture. And that is going to bring us a lot of rain, a lot of higher elevation snow. I'd say a notch down from what we saw during the first part of that atmospheric river when we saw a ton of snow in Mount Shasta. I don't think it'll be quite as bad, but it will be comparable. We can just put it that way. Taking a look at the coast, inland, and for Trinity County, those snow levels, on average, again, keep in mind, we saw how low they got this morning. They could lower again with some of that cooler air that kind of comes down, although we're kind of seeing some of that get trapped, so it may start to rise a little bit. Looking at Mount Shasta, Siskiyou County, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, off and on chances for snow there as well. So this is just going to be a trend that continues. But I do expect drier conditions for next week. Can't really see much out of that camera there, but looks like they're seeing some overcast skies in Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Looks like there's not much in the way of rain there, but the wind. I don't know why I confuse snow with wind, but the wind is kind of coming down. There you can see Main Street Chico. It looks wet. We've been dealing with that wet weather here this morning and, of course, last night. Taking a look at Highway 99 at Neal Road, it looks wet there as well. It looks a little breezy too. You can see the camera shaking in the wind there. Let's take a look at Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. Looks a little wet on those roads in Redding as well. So I think really what we can take from this is that we need to slow down this morning. This is a picture I showed you from yesterday, but I just wanted to show you that again because it's so beautiful. Thank you, Dan Gribby, for sending in that picture. And by the way, any pictures, whether it's snow that you're seeing here with this storm system, whether it's storm damage from the wind or from rain, possible flooding, I want to see your pictures. Share them from the free Weather NorCal app. We know what today is. It's Thursday. We've got our NorCal Ag Report. And Jerry O'Lennon went to a place in Chico. And this is not necessarily about agriculture, but a store that sells agriculture-type products, and especially for this time of the year, should be a lot of fun. So here is this week's NorCal Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. I thought it was going to go. Hold on one second.
Hi, I'm Jerry O'Lennon with Weather NorCal, and this is the Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. With Christmas right around the corner, I thought it would be fun to visit Maisie Jane's, a locally owned shop in Chico that sells ag-related products which make for great Christmas gifts. I am with Maisie Jane herself, the owner of the store. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, it's my pleasure.
Tell us about Maisie Jane's. When did you start this? And it's been kind of an institution in Chico for some time, hasn't it?
Yes, we just celebrated our 30th year anniversary, and it started as an FFA project here in Chico, California, and has just really grown. We, we distribute nationwide, and we do some exporting, but we're here today to talk about our quaint little gift shop here in Chico, California.
You know what I really like about it? It's such of a welcoming place. You know, when you come up to the front doorstep, it has such of a nice homey feel to it.
Well, we do. We pride ourselves in that country charm and hospitality, and we love the holidays, and it's a tradition for the people around here and people nationwide at our website, MacyJanes.com, for gift giving for the holidays and year round.
What do people get? What are the products that are in there, and what are the most popular ones, especially during the Christmas season?
Well, we make these fabulous chocolate-coated and flavored seasoned nuts that we put in this gift round, and so customers can, have a wide array of different price points, and they're easy to just hand out to the neighbor or the mailman, or to take to your next holiday party. So those, I think, are they're definitely our best sellers. But we have a lot of great gift baskets, gift-filled gift boxes with not only the products, the nuts that we make, but also we highlight the other the bountiful area and different food products from other artisan-made food companies.
What percentage of your produce, of your items, are actually made here on site or near site compared to the others?
Well, we 75% of the food products, we make ourselves in our food manufacturing plant located in Chico, California.
It is so busy in there right now. I can barely get inside. Is it normally like this, or is it just the Christmas season?
During the Christmas season is our peak. We're always trying to encourage our customers to come back, for all of their gift-giving needs, because as you saw, there's just a plethora of fun, different items, from purses to locally made candles, to tabletop and decor. So but the holiday season is the peak for sure.
I better let you get back inside because I think they need your help. It's really busy in there.
Yeah, all hands on deck. That's right.
Macy Jane, thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to you.
All right, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
And there you have it, another installment of the Ag Report. I'm Jerry O'Lennon for Weather NorCal.
Once again, I want to thank Lassen County Nursery for their support of Weather NorCal, and of course sponsoring the NorCal Ag Report. Always great to see these new segments, and Jerry, I think, did a great job with that one. That was a lot of fun, and if you're looking for a place to, just kind of a unique place to get some Christmas gifts, I think that Maisie Jane sounds like maybe a good option for you. Well, of course, while we were watching that segment, I was taking us through some of your comments here, and we do have one coming in from Delinda saying 32 and light wet snow in the Castle area. We've also got, let's see here. Oh, no, light snow in MacArthur. Excuse me. I was looking at the wrong one here. We got also Catherine Schmidt saying 32 and light wet snow. That's the one I was talking about in the Castle area. We got Tracy Sackett saying good morning. Just peeked out the window and it's snowing. Yay! If you're happy about that in MacArthur here. I know it's always fun. Especially if you don't have to be out there driving in it. It's always just kind of nice. We've also got a report from Chris saying a very light dusting of snow in Bieber. Noticed it at 5:30 this morning. And it looks like David Hoffman, of course, I believe, David, you drive a big rig. No chains on 5. Yay. That's probably a good deal. But I would say it's probably good to carry them. Make sure you take it nice and slow because I have seen that there is snow on the highway there. But yes, there you go. It says I'll carry them anyway. Good idea. And then Chappie, he's saying looks like a pleasant little store. Yeah, I mean, if it's not too much for you to go out of your way to go down to Chico and check out that store, it looks like a good one to support, especially if it's kind of supporting the ag community here. So a lot of fun there. So yeah, thank you for your comment there, Chappie. And you know what? What do you say we get to the forecast? We're kind of getting some of these great reports coming in, about 1.5 inches, looks like out in the Bernie area, and we'll probably be looking at more snow in that area as well. So what do you say we get right to our forecast here? But before we do that, I need to mention our sponsor, Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Now, what I want to do here is start off with the satellite and the radar, or excuse me, just the radar. And this is the loop from the last 6 hours. Now, I think it's going to kind of go back into a loop here, but what we saw here is that the heaviest rainfall, as expected, there goes my mic. Something's going on. Hold on one second, folks. Pardon me. We saw the bulk of that rain kind of pushing through. And I'm going to do this. For some reason, it's not. Oh, there it goes. All right, you see that? You see all that heavy rainfall that's kind of pushing on through. That was last night and early this morning. Now we're seeing some showers and snow to the east of the valley, another round of rain. This is what's going to be coming in here later this morning and this afternoon as that main system kind of pushes on through. So we're still looking at that system pushing through. This is storm system number 1. A closer look, Shingletown is seeing some snow. Looks like a bit of a rain-snow mix once you get down to, I can't tell you exactly which elevation, but even at 3,500 feet, there still was some snow up there. But you can see as you start heading up higher in elevation, out toward Viola, for example, yeah, you're going to be looking at more snow up there, also in the Mineral area. Let's take you up north into Siskiyou County. Looks like we're seeing another little round of some light snow between Mount Shasta and Weed at the current hour. Here's Highway 97. Yeah, I mean, of course, we're seeing that snow up there right now. That's going to create more chain requirements, most likely. Take a look at Highway 299 West. So Buckhorn Summit, there it is. Buckhorn Summit's about right here. So it looks like most of that rain and snow has passed, but there's more coming in from the west, and that is possibly going to bring us more rain and snow later this morning, and in particular this afternoon. So looking at our weather headlines, it's cool and unsettled through early next week. Snow levels between 3,000 and 4,500 feet, although we're getting reports of snow levels as low as 2,000 feet. We've seen that, but of course that's going to be, once you get in those lower elevations, I mean, it's kind of a slushy, wet snow, right? But mountain travel will be impacted and is already being impacted, including I-5. Now, right now, as of right now, there haven't been any chain requirements on I-5, but I tell you what, I think that's going to change, especially by tomorrow and Saturday. And we'll take a closer look at that here in a second. But I do expect a drier pattern for next week. So here's the storm timeline. For today, today's Thursday, the heaviest rainfall and snow has passed. Now we're just dealing with the back edge of the storm around the flow of that area of low pressure. And we'll be looking at scattered showers and snow flurries in the higher elevations. We're still looking at snow on those mountain passes, even on I-5 near Mount Shasta and Weed, so just keep that in mind. On Friday, though, the rain and snow will be heavy at times. Now, storm number 2 is moving through at this point. The rain and snow will be heavy at times, but it's going to put on its brakes once it hits Northern California. And as a result, it's got a nice tap into some moisture, and I think it's going to be a higher impact on Saturday. And the reason being is we've got heavy rain and snow on Friday. It's going to stall out. It'll continue so we're going to see rain and snow piling up, right? And then we're seeing more heavy rain and snow on Saturday. That'll pile up what we saw on Friday. So I think it's going to be even higher impact on Saturday because it's going to have a bit of a feel of steady rain because there's a steady flow of moisture coming in. The storm system stalls out. We're getting that flow coming in from the south-southwest, and that's going to be the source for some of that heavy rainfall and snow. But once the storm system passes Saturday night into Sunday, we actually make it a bit of a break on Sunday before storm number 3 moves through on Monday. So a low impact, a recovery day on Sunday, and then we go into Monday, a weaker system coming in on Monday, but a system nonetheless that's going to bring us more rain and snow. So there's last night and this morning. That's storm system number 1. Storm system number 2 is right here. This is the one that really I've got my eyes on. And storm number 3, way off to the west. In fact, let's take a look at those storms. Here's today. There's Friday, Saturday. Look at the flow of moisture right here. This is subtropical moisture, and it's tapping into that. That's Friday, Saturday, and there's storm system number 3 for Monday. A bit of a break here for Sunday, as we saw that. Okay, let's walk you through Futurecast now. There's that break. I think we'll see a bit of a break. Overcast skies, maybe some drizzle, because now we're getting a very saturated atmosphere. But the next batch of rain and snow moves through around midday, and then that pushes eastward by 5 p.m. Still some showers for the valley, still some snow flurries off to the east, but still a few scattered showers along the coast. But I do expect that by tonight we're kind of drying things out. We're seeing a bit of a break tonight. Now storm system number 2 comes in. So we're going to take a look at this, and I'm going to kind of explain what's happening. First and foremost, this is the leading edge of the storm. It's kind of barreling from the west. It's kind of coming in, but at this point, it's beginning to stall out. So we're seeing the rain. This will kind of push eastward through the day on Friday. So Friday morning at 9 a.m., most of us are seeing either rain or snow, depending on your elevation, okay? And we're seeing the darker shades of blue right here. That's heavy snow. So we're seeing heavy snow north and west of the valley, even out towards the Mount Shasta City area. The flow is doing something like this. The flow is coming, the upper level flow, and that's what's transporting the moisture. There's a good moisture source. And we're going to take a closer look at where that moisture source is here in a bit. But there you can see that nice moisture source coming in. So that's what we're seeing. It's kind of, see the tilt of it is this way. Okay, and we're and kind of keep that in mind. That continues through Friday. We're not seeing much change. Heavy snow in the mountains, heavy rain for parts of the valley. A bit of shadowing, by the way, so we're not going to see as much rain there. But now, instead of the flow doing this, you see what's happening? Now it's doing a little bit more like this. That's 5 p.m. Friday. Look at that tilt. Now it's doing this. So on Friday, the flow is this. On Saturday, the flow is doing this. That tilt, what that does, what that means is the area of low pressure is kind of digging to the south, and it's stalling out the storm, but we're still seeing that nice flow of moisture coming in. And that's the source for the heavy rainfall and the heavy snow. Now, as we go into Friday night, Saturday morning, right, that's what we're seeing here. We're still seeing that rain and heavy snow. Now, it looks like it's starting to taper off as we go into early Saturday morning. But you see this right here? That's what we got to push through Saturday morning, Saturday around noon. You see how it's breaking up now. We're not seeing quite as much of that steady flow, but then by Saturday 5 p.m., we're still seeing some of that heavy snow off to the east. So I want to talk about the snow real quickly, and you're probably going to start seeing on social media all kinds of things about, what's going on with the snow. If I were to compare the atmospheric river event we saw a couple of weeks ago and the amount of snow that we saw in Mount Shasta, I think in a matter of the 2 days, Friday and Saturday, we could be approaching what Mount Shasta saw in just that 12 to 24 hour period during that atmospheric river event. So it's going to be a longer span, but I do expect to see a significant amount of snow most likely in the Mount Shasta City area in a span of 2 days instead of just the 1 day that we did see there. But that Saturday at 5 p.m. is pushing off to the east. Places like Bernie, I think you're going to see a decent amount of snow out of this as well. Shingletown, you're getting snow. Hayfork, I know we're getting reports of a rain-snow mix there, a kind of a slushy snow. I think we could see maybe more of that for Friday and Saturday as well. But, this is heavy. That's some heavy snow, by the way, so it's going to create some travel delays as well. So with that rain pushing through on Friday, Saturday, that steady flow coming in, there is some flooding concerns. And the National Weather Service in Eureka has issued for, you can see the coast here, but also down into southern Humboldt County, a flood watch. Flooding is going to be a concern here. Mudslides and debris flows are going to be a concern. Once again, I've got that typo. I'm aware of that. But also the creeks and streams and rivers are something we'll have to pay attention to. We could probably see some rises there as well. All right, so let's go and switch gears here now and talk about the rainfall totals. There it is. We're talking upwards of 3 inches or more for parts of the valley. You notice it's not as much for the coast. Kind of that same situation, kind of the back edge of where that flow is, but looks like a lot more down into southern parts of Humboldt County. Winter weather advisories, winter storm watches, it doesn't really matter what those mean. Bottom line is we've got a lot of snow in the forecast. And when we look at the short range forecast model, which tends to be a little bit more accurate, through Saturday 5 p.m., we're talking 18 to 24 inches for Mount Shasta, not that much in Dunsmuir. I've done everything I can to adjust this to see if it can give us lower numbers, because Dunsmuir is a lower elevation than Mount Shasta. It shouldn't be as much snow there. I'd say maybe Dunsmuir might be closer to what Bernie is going to see, but Bernie, 4 to 8 inches of snow is a very good possibility. Shingletown, 3,500 feet, yeah, about 2 to 4 inches of snow there. And Chester, yeah, 24 inches to 30 inches of snow there. So we've got some good snow for some of those higher elevations coming on through, or should we say a lot of snow. All right. Let's take a look at those chain requirements. Mainly east and west of I-5 this morning. Nothing on I-5 as of yet, but always check those latest road conditions for today And really, even as we go into Friday and Saturday, you need to check if you're planning on traveling in the mountains at all from now through Saturday, check the road conditions before heading out, because they are going to be ever changing for the next several days. There's 3 p.m. today. Still some snow, looks like, out towards Mount Shasta, right? Buckhorn Summit looks okay, but I'll tell you this. For some reason, this particular model with the forecast road conditions hasn't been really picking up on that snow over Buckhorn Summit. So I'm anticipating we could still see some problems here even this afternoon for Buckhorn Summit like we saw this morning. And of course, plenty of chain requirements east of I-5. Let's take you into tonight and Thursday. Yeah, I mean more, especially to the east here. So once again, it's very important you check the latest conditions. All right, now to some good part of this, right? You think of the ski park. There it is, 63 inches of snow. Now, they opened up yesterday. Of course, they're open today. But Friday, Saturday, boy, I tell you what, they're going to get dumped with a ton of snow. They're already getting dumped with a lot of snow now. So they do update at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's most likely more than that, but that's the latest report coming in. And of course, you can see some of the other ski resorts out there as well. Things are looking good if you're a skier or a snowboarder. So here's the overall setup. And I'm going to use the phrase, dare I say it, atmospheric river. But that's what we've got here. You see that? This right here. Look at that flow. Look at all of that moisture coming in from the tropics. That, my friends, is an atmospheric river. Notice it stops right here. It isn't over us just yet. But here's the thing. This is the source of moisture for our storms as we kind of move forward here. Because what's happening is you got this flow of moisture here. You've got these areas of low pressure, these storms to the north. They're tapping into this moisture, and as they move through Northern California, that moisture source is what those storms are tapping into, which is why we're seeing heavy rain and snow. So you see what happens? So instead of this nice steady line of that moisture, we're kind of breaking that off with the area of low pressure because the trough is digging to the south and is kind of pushing that energy to the south as well. So this would be considered, maybe if you want to, as I looked at the atmospheric river categories and what they call the IVTs, again, it's too technical. This right here, you could call it a weak atmospheric river. Because here's the thing. Yes, the main source was from this flow here. Now it's kind of cutting itself off, so we don't have more coming in behind that. But there's a lot of moisture that's heading straight. You see how it's right there over us. So this is going to be that constant stream of moisture that we're going to see here, especially on Friday and the first part of Saturday. And then you can kind of see we kind of break off from that. But then there's another batch of moisture coming in on Monday. Again, very weak when we're talking atmospheric river terms, but there still is a good flow of moisture coming in on Monday. This one's much weaker though. Then as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, you see how it's all staying to the north? It's not moving towards us. That's because high pressure is building in, a blocking ridge. So that will keep any storms for Tuesday through Thursday, if not Friday of next week, from moving in and will remain dry. So here you can see Friday, Saturday, and here you can see Monday. There's the moisture source. See that moisture source right there? See how it just comes right into Northern California? That's Friday, Saturday. That's looking at Saturday right now. Slow moving system, heavy rain and snow. Now, between it, this is Sunday. This is a bit of a break. Still some leftover instability. Could see a few scattered showers on Sunday, but Sunday's the break. Here's Monday. See that? Again, tapping into that moisture. Again, there's Sunday. There's that ridge of high pressure. Then on Monday, this is what comes on in. Brings us more rain, more snow. And then, you see this? See this storm system? Breaks apart. All being pushed up to the north. All getting blocked by this ridge of high pressure right here. This right here is indicative of what we saw for the first 2 weeks of December, right? Remember, a lot of us were concerned, oh my gosh, it's starting off so dry in December. It's so dry, it's so dry. Well, now, of course, we're switching over and we're going into a wet pattern. But by next week, we've got another blocking ridge coming in, preventing those storms from coming in. But you know what? This is welcomed because we don't want to get all the rain at once. But we are getting more of that rain coming in. And in fact, the Climate Prediction Center is kind of giving us the drier conditions here. because of that ridge of high pressure that I was just talking about that's building in. So how much rain with the long-range forecast models? Grain of salt. Always remember that when we're looking at the long range. But yeah, we could see upwards of 6 inches of rain for the valley. Maybe about the same here for parts of the coast. Snow? Well, keep in mind too, long-range forecast models, especially with snow, have a really hard time with snow elevations and all that good stuff. So you've really got to be able to interpret this. You've got to know the area before looking at a model like this and going, wow, look at Hayfork. Look at all that snow in Hayfork. Look at all the snow in Weaverville. No. Again, this isn't taking into account the elevation. So it will say Hayfork is getting several feet of snow, but that's not going to be the case, right? So Mount Shasta, I think these numbers are probably high, but to give you an idea, this could be a significant snow event for some of the areas that saw a lot of snow a couple of weeks ago. Mount Shasta City, Bernie, seeing some decent snow out of this. Chester, I think we'll probably see more than that, quite honestly. And then, of course, off to the east here, out towards Susanville, 20 inches. Maybe, again, that might be a little high. And Alturas, maybe upwards of a foot of snow, but that might be a little high as well. All right, we're switching gears now. We're talking about the winds. And yeah, I mean, we're talking those gusts up to 55 miles per hour, but that's for basically Friday to Saturday. So let's take a look at the winds. For today, yeah, just a little gusty out towards central Siskiyou County. The winds are picking up, though, as we go into tomorrow morning, the coast, 30 to 40 miles an hour. Very strong winds for central Siskiyou County. Winds beginning to pick up for the valley, and then by Friday through the day, those winds picking up here for the valley, 30, 40 mile an hour gusts there. Higher elevations, look at those strong winds out towards Shasta Valley and the eastern mountains, also seeing some pretty gusty winds. Let's take you into Friday night and Saturday morning. Saturday morning, 3 a.m., still some very strong winds for the valley, but the winds are dying down to the west of that. That's because the storm system is beginning to push to the east now. But still some pretty gusty winds here, even through the day on Saturday, especially for the valley eastward. So those winds are certainly going to be a factor. And with winds that strong, we can't rule out the potential for some power outages again. I don't want to talk about that, but that's unfortunately a possibility. There's a coastal flood advisory until 11 o'clock this morning, not because of the rain, but the gusty winds and the astronomical high tides, creating some of those typical flooding areas here because of the high tides. This will be a repeat again for Friday, by the way, so just be aware of that. Looking at the wave heights for today, they're going to be fairly high, and they back off a little bit here for Friday morning, but by Friday afternoon, they start to pick back up again. So as a result, the marine forecast does have us in that small craft advisory. Winds from the south at about 20 to 25 knots. All right, so here's what we have in store for us today. Just going to wrap up the forecast here, and you can see here. Again, I'm not going to go into the timing, the snow levels, all that stuff. You know what to look for when you're looking at these maps. There's a lot to unpack here. This is why I do this. I have a lot of information on here, and you can find what you're looking for here. But to just kind of give you a general idea, temperature is 40s for most of Trinity County today. For the North Coast, we're talking temperatures around 50, 48 degrees for Honeydew, Shelter Cove. You'll see a high of about 51 degrees. All right, we take you up to the north, out towards Ferndale, all the way down to Rio Dell. Rio Dell, one of the cooler spots, at least on this map here, at about 49 degrees for that daytime high. 48 for Willow Creek, Hoopa about 49. And along the coast, actually a little bit more mild, about 54 degrees for Trinidad, 54 in Eureka. 54 out in Smith River, Crescent City, about 53 and 51 degrees out in Oric. We take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Mid to upper 40s along the Highway 96 corridor, I-5 corridor, low to mid 40s for your highs there. Scott Valley, around 40, give or take. And of course, off and on rain here is the 7-day outlook, at least through Monday, with that break possibly on Sunday. Here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. 37 degrees out of Newell, 38 for Alturas today, 38 for Fort Bidwell. Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, upper 30s to low 40s there. 41 for Montgomery Creek, Paynes Creek about 44. Lake Almanor, Lassen Park, around the perimeter of the lake, we've got those temperatures in the mid to upper 30s for your daytime highs. We take it southward, Paradise, a high of 55, 37 in Mineral, 41 for Doyle and Susanville, about 39 degrees. Your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by our friends at Walgamith Painting. You know, I think some of us in the Valley may even struggle to get out of the 40s today, but we'll call it mainly around 50 for that daytime high today. Look for a high of 49 for Reading as well as Cottonwood, 44 for Whiskeytown and Lakehead. So here's a look at your 7-day outlook for Reading. There are the showers, my friends. There are the showers, off and on. Now today, just scattered showers. The heaviest rainfall already moved through. And then, of course, we've got Friday, Saturday. That's the big event. That's storm number 2. And then on Sunday, we see a bit of a break. Monday, more rain, more snow. And then, of course, Tuesday, there may be some leftover activity, but overall, things are drying out on Tuesday and keeping it dry as we go into your Wednesday and really through the end of next week. Whew, that was a lot, wasn't it? Let's see what we've got going on here. I'm a delivery driver in, let's see what, Tracy. I didn't know that. Interesting. Getting to know my viewers, my regulars in particular. Tracy's saying, I deliver in Castle. Or you say, I'm a delivery driver here in MacArthur. So snow isn't my favorite. Yeah, probably not. I wouldn't want to be driving any kind of delivery truck or anything like that. Fall River, I deliver in Castle, Hat Creek, Old Station. Oh, woo, Little Valley. Snow makes it a little challenging. I've been doing this for years, but driving in snow still makes me anxious. Absolutely. You can be the best driver in the world. Snow, Mother Nature is the one that's in control there, right? Good morning from Debbie Bishop. We've got very welcome break. My sister is coming down from Alturas next Thursday. Yeah, and so you were talking about this. I think we'll be in good shape. We got a lot going on now and through Monday, but yeah, we'll get a nice break from all of this come Tuesday through the end of next week in particular. Maybe the next weekend I'm seeing maybe the long range showing us some more, but we'll see. Thank you, and have a happy Friday's Eve. Yeah, Friday Eve, Friday Junior, whatever you want to call it. It's all good. It's all good stuff. Whew. All right. Well, I think I'm ready to call it a morning at least, or at least call the show here. Hopefully, you got the information you wanted. As I always encourage people, during the forecast, if you're watching and you have a question, I didn't quite get your what you may have questioning in your head, I can answer them. We can get interactive here. So if you're traveling anywhere, let me know. But hopefully, and the lack of questions, what that maybe tells me is that I did a good job during the forecast and you know what to expect. That's the whole key here. So there you go, my friends. That's what we're talking about. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show here and call it a morning at least. But of course, I've got more updates. Keep it right here to Weather NorCal on the 24-hour streaming channel, from the free Weather NorCal app, on Facebook, social media, on YouTube. Anywhere you can find Weather NorCal, you can keep up to date no matter where you are, especially on that free Weather NorCal app. That is such a great resource because you can always get the latest forecast there as well. So thanks so much for watching. We're going to leave you with a couple of cameras out there this morning, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Things will start getting interesting again Friday, but by this time tomorrow morning, the heaviest won't be here just yet, but then through the day on Friday and Saturday, that's when things get more interesting. So thanks again so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m.